Hello and welcome back to Farmstead MTG. So we're back with a final of our Farmstead 10 tournament. I'm really stoked about that. But before we jump into the final, I just want to say I recently traveled to another country to attend an old school tournament. So you have a really cool video series coming up. And in the tournament I was filming myself in every round. So that was a bit scary. So now you can see all my plays. So that's what's coming up next. So let's take a look at the two finalists here. You can see first here is Mia's big red deck. You've seen it before, and I got some questions about the big red archetype, and this list has gone through many iterations, but I'm really happy about this one. Of course the sideboard can be tweaked a bit, it was just thrown together, but the main deck I'm really happy about, and it's in the final after all, so it's really good. And my wife's opponent, his name is Dag, and this is his first old school tournament. But he's been playing Magic for a long time, but he recently come back, and he is borrowing this black deck. You've seen it before. There are some aggro elements and a lot of control elements. So yeah, let's get down to the final of the Farmstead 10. Game number 1, you have Mia to the left and Dag to the right. Dag is showing us his hand. It's 2 sinkholes, 2 specters, and then undual dreams and 2 swamps. So we can really attack Mia's mana base. And here we see Mia's hand. She has 4 lands, a lightning bolt, mana flare, and a factory. So her hand matches up great against an opening hand with 2 sinkholes. Mia is on the play, starts out with a factory. And the Dag plays a swamp. And Mia attacks for 2 with her factory. The second swamp, and here comes a sinkhole. And he only pays 1 mana. Ah, there's the second. And a Lotus. So will she use the Lotus for a mana flare? She doesn't have that much spells to cast, so she does just pass the turn. And here comes the second sinkhole. That was also in his opening hand. It's so great when players show their hand. At least for me, that is commentating. Ooh, and he drew a 3rd sinkhole. So I can see Mia has another land in her hand, so it's a good thing that she had a lot of lands, and Dag is missing his 3rd land drop. So that's too bad for him. He plays a Black Knight, and Mia casts a lightning bolt. Ooh. I think there's many mana flares. Is it 3 mana flares? Yeah, looks like that. But you don't want to play them when your opponent is stuck on 2 lands. But he got the 3rd land, so now he can cast a Hypnotic Spectre. And I think Mia drew a Icy Manipulator. So she can at least deal with a Spectre. Dag plays a factory. Mia taps down the Spectre with Icy. And Dag casts a Sushi. So I think it's time to start casting those mana flares. I think think this the best play is to use the Black Lotus. She's doing some thinking. So she cast a mana flare. I think she has forgotten about the Black Lotus. After all, this is round 7, and they've been drinking through 6 rounds. So, okay, so she has a shatter for the Sushi, and each land now produce 2 mana. So Dag has 10 mana now. So he cast an Underworld Dreams and 2 Hypnotic Spectres. That's 9 mana. Mia taps down the Spectre. But I think now Mia can cast most of her spells, so the Spectre won't force her to discard any cards. So she taps 4 mana to cast another mana flare. Guessing she's going to cast the 3rd one also. Yep. So now each land taps for 4 mana. So she has 5 lands, that's 20 mana. Plus the Black Lotus, that's 23. And Dag is at 18. A fireball here would be lethal. She just needs to top deck 1. So it's tapping one of the Spectres. Dag attacks for 4. And he doesn't attack with the factory. So Mia is down to 15. She has no cards in hand. Taking damage from the Underworld Dreams. And what's the card? She has a couple of turns to do it. Okay, she's doing some counting. Did she top deck that fireball? Oh yes, there it is. Boom. Game 2, Dag's hand. It's a Sushi, Dark Ritual, Spectre, Sinkhole, Demonic Tutor, 1 Swamp and a Factory. So he can have that turn 1 Hypnotic. And Mia, I see a Fireball and a Mana Flare. I think it's an Earthquake and 3 lands. Yeah, it's a bit slow. But yeah, I think it's a fine keep. So let's see if he goes for that Spectre. Yeah, it's a bit risky when you're playing against a red deck with Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning. And she top stacked the Chain Lightning, of course. It's better to be lucky than good. Demonic Tutor. So he only started with 1 Swamp and 1 Factory. So if he hasn't drawn any cards, he might go for something boring, just like a swamp. He doesn't have that much mana to cast a Mind Twist. He's looking at an Ice Manipulator. Yeah, but it shows something different. Oh, he went for a disc. Mia really has a slow start, so she just plays out the factory, and looks like she's passing the turn. Next turn she can play a Mana Flare. Yeah, doesn't look like Dag has that third land drop. Oh, there's an Library of Alexandria, but I'm not sure how many cards she has. So here comes the Mana Flare, and that's really good for Dag. So now he has 4 mana instead of 2. So Dark Ritual. Now he has 6 mana and a Sinkhole. A desert. The big Shivan Dragon. Ooh. And a mace, so that can at least deal with a dragon. He only has 2 swamps for 2 black mana. Another Sinkhole, taking out her mountains. That's really rude. Yeah, another colorless land. And she just passed the turn. She must have close to 7 cards in her hand. Oh, a Terror. And now she needs to discard a card at random. Okay, she only had 4 cards. So Mia is down to 16. And just pass the turn. No mountains, only red cards in hand. There comes an Icy Manipulator. And yes, that's an Ice Age card, but at our local tournament we are not that strict about it, because the Ice Age one cost 20 cents and the Unlimited cost I don't know, like $80. So, but we do prefer to have the original art. But at least Ice Age give you some old school feeling. In the meantime, Mia's discarded a fireball and a fork to the Hypnotic Spectre, and she's down to 12 life. Factory. Let's see if he attacks with a factory this turn. Looks like that. That's 8 damage. So the Spectre takes a Wheel of Fortune. She needs a miracle. A disc a bit too late. Stepping down the factory and attacks for 8. Yes, so it's 1-1. Game number 3. Mia is on the play. See Item Manipulator, Dark Ritual, Spectre, Pestilence, and Mia has 3 Mountains, Black Wise, Shivan Dragon, Sushi, and Item Manipulator. Yeah, cracking that Black Lotus right away for our Sushi. That's an excellent start. First turn, Spectre. Let's see if she has any lightning bolt for it. And Mia has her playmat, the champion of Lillestrøm. Lillestrøm is our local town. She won a modern tournament. So she's proudly using that. And she attacks with Sushi, puts down Dag down to 16. Use a strip mine. And this is not good now. She needs to discard another card. Okay, maybe it's the first card she's discarding. An Icy Manipulator. She is winning the damage race. So Dog should be at 12. Yeah, looks like they fixed it. Factory. There's the lightning bolt. Huge. Dog's down to 8, and Mia cast a mana flare. So suddenly Dog goes from 2 to 6 mana. 4 mana for an Icy. So he can take care of that Sushi. So Mia cast a Shivan Dragon. Another factory. And he taps down Mia's Shivan Dragon during her upkeep. So if he blocks with one of his factory and pump it and use the other factory to pump it, the factory can become a 4/4. So 2 factories and an open mana can take care of Sushi. I'm wondering if she has any fireballs in her hand. She needs another land. Okay, it's a fireball for 5. So will she attack? No. So Dog is down to 3 life and Mia is at 18. He cast a Sushi. He really needs a drain life. I think there are some in his 75, because you don't want to be on 3 life against the burn deck. So he taps down the Shivan Dragon, and there's the lightning bolt. GG. So Mia won 2-1. So that's great. I'm really happy about that. And fireball for 22, I think. That's good entertainment. Okay, I'll see you around. Goodbye.